So my brother told me something the other day that was like weirdly eye-opening to me. I don't even really know why. We were talking, and I don't even remember what we were talking about. And he said that every type of music is stupid to someone. Every type of music is very silly to someone. And when I first heard that, I was thinking, like, there's no way. Like, there's got to be an ultimate type of music. Like, there's something that no one can make fun of. There's got to be like a pure, like there's Michael Jordan in basketball, where like he's just so good, he's beyond criticism almost. And for some reason, I've been thinking about that since he said it. I don't know why. And I like look around at the people that I know and the music that they listen to, and then there's always like, oh, you listen to country music? What is wrong with you? You are so weird. Why would you listen to country music? And then now I work with a lot of country music lovers, and it's so funny. They'll be like a comment every once in a while, like, oh, like one of those rap music people. You know what I mean? And for some reason, that has just sat in an interesting place in my brain. Because not only can something that you assume is so good, you don't even know it's good, like, because it's so ingrained in your personality and your habits. Like, you've listened to so much country music in your life that you just think it can't even be questioned. Like, why? If someone didn't like country music, they must just be weird. And then there's an entire group of people that think it's just the dumbest thing in the world. And that the same goes for any type of music. And there's a really interesting lesson there. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like, for some reason, that specifically has been sitting in my head, kind of spinning around. It's interesting, like when you look at the internet has basically exposed to us that anything can be hated. Like, there's no thing so beyond criticism that you can't find a group of people that will vehemently hate it. And the more you think about that, the more you realize just how much of an echo chamber you might have always lived in. Like, for example, if there's anything that you think, if you find yourself thinking, well, everybody loves Christmas. Everybody loves family. Everybody loves singing. There are literally groups of people in the internet, on Facebook, that would define themselves by their hatred toward those things. There's people that hate the nuclear family. There's people that hate Christmas. I mean, there's a whole movement against not saying Christmas. There's people that think it's just materialistic. There's people that think that it's dishonest. There's people that hate singing. They think it's silly and it's a waste of time. And it's so weird that the internet has exposed to us that there's nothing sacred. I think back in the day, like in the, back before the internet, in like the 80s or whatever, I'm sure there was some kind of internet. People just lived their whole lives thinking that what they liked, most people liked. Like they died thinking that everybody was a John Wayne fan, or everyone liked country music, or everyone fill in the blank. And it's weird today's day and age when you have literally every type of opinion and every type of perspective, every minority, every language has a voice, because of the internet. And you start to realize that things that you took to be just the natural thing to like are not at all the natural thing to like. And then you start to take steps back. Well, I was in such an echo chamber. I didn't even realize that I liked this thing because it was so ingrained in me. Where along the way did I lose my free will? Where along the way was I told to think a certain way, to like a certain thing, to be a specific political party, to be against something? Where along the way did I slowly decide who I was? Or in other words, did I become who I was by whatever means make you who you are? I mean, you see people back in the day, like, makes you think. I just watched Jojo Rabbit, and I was thinking, like, the people that were part of the Nazis, or the people that were, super racist way back in the day. Like the people that did lynchings, stuff like that. Oh, Maddie's home. She's going to be loud in 5 seconds. Maybe they didn't realize. Maybe it was like music. Maybe they thought it was beyond criticism. That was just the most natural, normal way to be. It's not that they were evil people, but maybe they were so indoctrinated into a way of thinking that they didn't even question it. They grew up and did terrible things, and people still do terrible things, and maybe they don't even realize that other people would think those are terrible. I don't know. It's just interesting to think about. There's so many parts of your little place in the world, meaning your perspective, literally your geography, your political party, your personality, your family, that you don't even notice, that an outsider notices immediately and might even find offensive or weird. Remember the first time I had friends out of state come visit here in Utah. I guess I'm in Arizona now, but when we lived in Utah, they were just amazed by the mountains. And as soon as they saw them, they started taking pictures, and it was just like blew them away. And to me, it's like I didn't even notice them. It's like, it was like the horizon line. Like it didn't even cross my mind. And I think that when people become zealots or ideologues towards any cause or ideology, religion or political party, typically there's a lot of things that they assume are just the way things are. And I always try to think about my own life. Like, what is it that I assume everyone agrees on, that I assume is so unquestionably natural that I honestly don't even realize it's happening? Now, this is one thing that people back in the day thought about gay marriage. Like there's clips of people in the 80s even that just kind of laugh at the idea. And it's funny to me that to them, it's not like they were so evil or something or so intolerable. It's just like, if you were so surrounded by something in such an echo chamber and you've never even met someone who thinks different than you, it's really easy when you hear about people that think different than you to think that they're just crazy. I don't know. For some reason, when he told me that every type of music is stupid and silly to someone, that like struck a nerve. Because you think of your own type of music as It's just like you don't even think of it as a type of music. You just think of it as good. And then there's totally someone out there who would listen to it and laugh and think and point fingers at you and think you were such a loser for listening to that. I guess what I take from it is it's good to question yourself. It's not good to doubt yourself. But it is good to question, why do I believe what I believe? Why do I think what I think? Why am I against what I'm against? Why do I hate who I hate? And if you dissect that to its smallest truth and you still believe it, well, then maybe that's just the truth. But if you start to break it down, you find out, well, maybe I'm Republican because my mom was, or maybe I'm liberal because my professor was, or maybe I think gay marriage is bad because I read it somewhere, or maybe I'm not. Maybe I always thought I wasn't racist, but my behavior doesn't say that, and I never noticed until I started to question myself. And I just don't think enough people do that. And I think if you could see yourself, if you could listen to your music through someone else's ears occasionally, and see how silly some of the things you hold so dear could be to someone who doesn't hold them dear, we would all be a lot more tolerant and understanding of everyone else's opinion.